So many times when we are at the nets, our biggest fear is that we are going to get angled and pass. And yes, you probably will sometimes. But here we're going to give you 3 ways, 3 reasons, 3 tactics that you can use to not get passed so easily on the angle, or also not to allow the opponent to angle you that easily. So what is the first reason? For you not to get angled so easily, you need to learn how to play in front of the player. Meaning that if the player, when he's at the back, is forced to play like this, it's not easy for the player to suddenly angle you. Yeah? But for example, as soon as you play a little bit deeper and he's able to use the glass, then it's easy to play the angle. Yeah? So this is where paddle gets a little bit tricky. Once the players have a good understanding of the glass, you have to value if the player is better with the glass or without the glass. I would say that most players will have more difficulty playing with a ball that is between the line and their feet, because they will defend, but they are not able to really choose where to place the ball. They are just hitting the ball over. So the first reason is make the player play from here, so he has to play more vertical and doesn't have time to play the angles. As soon as your volley went a little bit deeper because you hit late or because you couldn't control the pace, the player is going to be able to angle you. So that would be the first reason. Second, I forgot. Yes. Yeah. With the overheads mainly, no? Then the second reason you should pay attention to is there are many players, especially as they get better, that if you open the court, for example, after a gancho or an overhead that couldn't go deep and bounces, shorter, the more you play on the outside, the easier they will angle you. Yes? So because you are opening the court. Also, for those that come from tennis, sometimes if you play here, the guy is going to roll you. And he has actually quite a big space to roll you, yeah, or slice you. So we say, if you want to be less worried about the opponent hitting an angle, you have to play more on the inner leg. If the player is a backhand player like I am right now, you need to play more to the right leg. If the player is on the other side, you need to play more to the left leg. Yes? Why? Because he might manage the angle, but the space that he has is much more smaller. I would say about 2 meters smaller than if you play here and then you open the full court for the opponent to roll you or to slice you. So play a lot more to the inner leg. And the third reason will be that there will be situations where, maybe you play a drop shot that didn't succeed. And instead of, when we see the opponent coming forward, instead of backing up, which is many times the instinct I see the most in recreational players, when you go back, the angles are much bigger now. So remember that I would like you to think that the only space that they have to pass you is the air space, is with a lob. Why? Because with the lob, I will always have the chance to run back and reply with the same coin. But if I open the gaps where the angles are, I might not be able to reach that ball. Yeah? So what can you do? When this situation happens or where the player starts progressing forward, you will change your position to closer. Yeah? You are going to take the fight instead of doing the opposite. What I see the most, like I said, is people that they see the player coming and they back up. So then when you back up, suddenly the angles are much bigger. If I see that the player has gotten some rebound and probably is going to angle me, I sense it, I go a little bit closer. And then the only gap I'm giving the player is the air space. Okay, so those 3 reasons, think about it, apply it in your games, and let's see if you can cover the angles better.